In the end, human life means nothing.
I expected to meet a Jesus that was on the side of Christians and of the people that I, at that time, didn't identify with. When I first read the Bible, it was a Gideon Bible that I knew would be in the drawer of the hotel room I was staying in, and I read it to convince myself that it wasn't true. And I was so rejected and broken, and this person just disarmed me because it was so personal. I just, as soon as I read it, I was like, there wasn't even a question of, is this true? As soon as I started to read it, I was like, well, this is the story that I know I believe. And this person inside of it just sort of came out of the page and was on my side and was my friend. And I felt this deep alliance from him, this acceptance of like everything that you are, the entire mess that you are, exactly as you are right now, I'm with you. And I just felt like I had an ally in Jesus when I didn't have anybody on my side. Metanoia is Greek for transformational change of heart or repentance. I thought that it was an incredibly powerful and dynamic word that to describe what I experienced, I suppose, when I had a conversion experience, essentially, and when my body, when I reconciled to my body, I suppose, and at the same time reconciled to God. I wanted to follow my body's journey from having really no worth to being of this extraordinary, priceless value. There was a lot I needed to be healed from, internally and externally. I had been on a process of hurting, destroying my body, starving my body. I've been in a process of sharing and exposing my body as a way of trying to make connections with people, trying to find love. And I didn't find it that way. Being in my own body and resenting it or rejecting it or hating it, I mean, one word for it is disembodied. It's this strange divorce from this physical place that has carried you and upheld you for your entire life. It's such a horrible feeling to be inside your own body and yet trying to stretch out of it or trying to diminish it. In fact, it wasn't until I came home to myself in many ways and I took my body back into a safe and sacred and secret place and just went, right, who are you? I know that you're mine and I accept you. That, I had an eating disorder for 10 years that was healed. I had a relationship to sexuality and sexual expression that clarified and resolved and became conviction, I was able to see clearly what drug use did to my body. I was able to see clearly what an act of worship it could be to share a meal with somebody else rather than a burden or something to be anxious about. I felt like the work God did in my heart could almost be tracked through how He transformed my relationship to my body. And so to me, it's a really beautiful lens to tell a very multifaceted story through, because I think you can, I feel like my body bears my testimony. It's not intended as a proselytizing text. It's not intended to persuade and convince the reader that they should believe what I believe or experience the same experiences I had. But what I can promise is that it's honest and raw, and I haven't exaggerated or, even though some things are extreme in the book, both my behavior or the spiritual world, or the spiritual interactions, the things that happen to me as I go on that journey. What I've tried to do is lay it as bare and as honest as I can.